I'm Jim Brown with The Balanced You. Getting healthy doesn't have to be an ass whip. You don't have to chain yourself to a treadmill. You don't have to spend the rest of your life choking down rice cakes or enduring another juice cleanse. My goal is to take the hassle out of getting healthy. Now for the disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I've never even played one on TV. So by all means, feel free to check with your doc. In fact, it was a visit with my doctor that convinced me that I needed to take responsibility for my own health. You see, my cholesterol had been going up over the years, and my doc was wanting me to get on a statin, and I wasn't a fan. So it's like, okay, humor me, go get a heart scan. So it's like, okay, no problem, because I was convinced my numbers were going to come back great. You see, I thought I had the secret weapon. I was like the poster child for heart-healthy whole grains. Quinoa, couscous, whole wheat, brown rice, man, steel-cut oats. I was all about all that stuff. So I was pretty convinced that I was like nutritionally bulletproof. Not so much. I had heart disease. So that didn't do anything to like lessen my doc's enthusiasm for me to start taking statins. In fact, he referred me to a cardiologist. Now I had two people that were like serious about me getting on statins, and I was still resistant. It's not that I'm anti-medicine. If I've got an infection, you're not going to have to argue with me to get me on to start taking antibiotics. But a few years ago, a friend of mine died from taking Vioxx. And I get it, there's no connection between Vioxx and statins. But what my friend's death did for me is that it showed me that all that scary stuff that they say at the end of those drug commercials, that's not just there to humor their attorneys. Okay? Those are real side effects that are happening to real people. So before I committed to any kind of a long-term prescription strategy, I wanted to understand first why my diet wasn't doing for me what I thought it was going to do. Well, luckily for me, my daughter and son-in-law had just started on the paleo diet, and they suggested that I at least check it out. So I bought Rob Wolf's The Paleo Solution and dove in. Wow. I'd never given 5 minutes thought to what influence how we evolve should have over what we eat and how we exercise. But it turns out that our genetic blueprint basically evolved over the 2+ million years that we were hunter-gatherers. Compared to that, agriculture and civilization have been around for about 10 minutes. So basically, we are hunter-gatherers, maybe with better furniture. But why that makes a difference is because we're trying to run this well-oiled hunter-gatherer metabolism on low-fat garbage and bran muffins. And if you've got any question about how well that's working out, just go to any kind of public place like a mall or a sporting event and look around and see how many trim, fit people you see. And it's not just about the obesity. It's looking at the havoc that this low-fat, high-carb diet is having on our health. And the CDC just came out with a report that shows that there's over 100 million Americans with either diabetes or prediabetes. And that's a third of the U.S. population. And I'm absolutely convinced that if I'd have stayed on my heart-healthy whole grains approach, I'd be one of them, or I'd already be dead. Well, I was convinced that I at least wanted to give this paleo approach a good shot. So I figured the only thing I had to lose was my gut. So my wife and I went through the house. We grabbed up all the carby crap that we had. Beans, rice, quinoa, couscous, all that stuff. We even threw away a brand new bag of organic whole wheat flour that we had. We tossed all the chips, the cereal, the sugar, all that stuff that went in the garbage. So it's like, all right, so what do we replace it with? Well, we replaced it with grass-fed and pastured meats, eggs, wild-caught seafood, lots of veggies, fruit, seeds, nuts, and then healthy fats, avocados, coconut, grass-fed butter, extra virgin olive oil. We even started using pastured lard and bacon grease from uncured bacon. And the weight started falling off. So we were fans. And on top of that, we started feeling great. But I wanted to make sure that I wasn't sending us down the wrong path. So I kind of went in for a whole nother round of research. I bought all the books. I started reading a bunch of the scientific studies. And it turns out that this stuff wasn't even just effective for weight loss. It was having a huge impact on people's health. That's what convinced me to start A Balanced You. And I did the work to become a primal health coach. Because what I realized was there's a tremendous amount of information out there. So much so that a lot of people just get overwhelmed. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Do I do paleo? Do I do primal? What's the deal around keto? And what I realized is if something's a hassle, people are going to be real hesitant to do it. And if they get started, there's a real low likelihood that they're going to stick with it. Your health is more important than a New Year's resolution that you bail on by March. Schedule a 15-minute call with me, and let's see if I can help you start building a healthier, happier version of yourself. I look forward to talking with you. Thanks.